Jezebel. Everyone knows what she was. But search the Bible from the first mention of her to the last, and you will not find one verse that says Jezebel seduced anyone. Not one. What the text charges her with is worse. Scripture introduces her in a single sentence, and the sentence is a foreign policy. Ahab took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 31. Sidon was not a village on the edge of Israel's map. It was Phoenicia, the coastal power of the age, built on cedar and purple dye and ships that knew the whole length of the sea. A princess out of that house did not arrive in Samaria as a bride. She arrived as a treaty, and her father's name carries his god inside it, Ethbaal. Baal is with him. She did not wander into Baal worship in a foreign court and lose her way. She was raised in the house that was named for him, and she came to Samaria doing what she had always done. Neither she nor her husband hid it. Ahab reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he built in Samaria. And he made a grove. None of this was private devotion. It was policy. And the record of what the policy cost begins 2 chapters later, with a number and a name. When Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. 1 Kings 18, verse 4. The text does not mention it in passing. 9 verses on, Obadiah says it again, to Elijah's face, as though it were the first thing anyone would need to know about the woman in the palace. And Obadiah is no rebel out in the hills. He is the governor of Ahab's house. Then the number. When Elijah summons Israel to Carmel, he summons the prophets of Baal, 450, and the prophets of the groves, 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. 850 men fed on the queen's household accounts. Not a woman with unusual private opinions. A state religion with a payroll, run in her name from her table. The 400 are summoned and never accounted for. Only the 450 appear on the mountain. The text does not say where the others were, and we will not fill the gap for it. Carmel ends. Ahab goes home and tells his wife everything. She sends a messenger to Elijah. So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. She announces the killing a day ahead to the man she means to kill. A formal oath she was bound to publish, or contempt, or a queen who wanted the prophet out of her country rather than dead in it. All 3 are in the sentence. None is certain. It worked. The man who had faced 450 prophets alone on Carmel went south, out of the kingdom, a day's journey into the wilderness. It is the only time the record shows Elijah running. Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard beside the palace. Ahab wanted it for a garden of herbs and offered a better vineyard, or its worth in money. Naboth refused. The Lord forbid it me, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee. That is not stubbornness. In Israel, ancestral land was held in trust, not owned. The land shall not be sold forever, Leviticus says, for the land is mine. Naboth is not negotiating. He is telling his king that this sale is not one he is permitted to make. Ahab goes home heavy and displeased, lies down on his bed, turns away his face, and will not eat. And his wife asks him a question. Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise, eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name, sealed them with his seal, and sent them to the elders and the nobles in Naboth's own city. The instructions are exact. Proclaim a fast. Set Naboth on high among the people. Set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness that he blasphemed God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him. Read that again and notice what she does not do. She does not send soldiers. She does not have him killed on a road at night. She convenes a lawful assembly. She calls a religious fast. She seats him in the place of honor, so the fall is public. And she supplies 2 witnesses, because 2 is the number Israel's own law requires before a man can be put to death. Deuteronomy demands 2. She provides two. A Sidonian queen ran a capital trial through the covenant's own judicial procedure by post, every step of it correct except the truth. The men of his city did it. She told Ahab to arise and take possession, and he went down to the vineyard. Elijah met him there. The dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. And the chapter passes its verdict. There was none like unto Ahab, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. It gives her the agency. It does not let him go either. One detail surfaces years later in the sentence passed on that house, and chapter 21 never mentions it. The blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons. The vineyard had to have no heir. That is what the letters were for. Years pass. Ahab dies. Two of his sons reign after him, and a captain named Jehu is anointed king over Israel. Anointed, the text says, to avenge the blood of the prophets and of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel. He kills her son in a field, and as he does it, he says this, "What peace, so long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many." Hold that word. We come back to it. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. And she painted her face and tired her head and looked out at a window. The Hebrew is more precise than the King James. She sets her eyes in puch, antimony, the coal of the ancient world, and she dresses her head, eye paint, and a headdress. Consider when. She has just been told her son is dead and his killer is riding through the gate. She is not preparing to be admired. She is putting on the regalia because she is about to meet a usurper, and she means to meet him as a queen. Her last recorded words are a question. Had Zimri peace, who slew his master? Zimri is in the record, in the same chapter that introduced her. He killed his king, held the throne 7 days, and when the city fell, he burned the palace down over his own head. That is not a plea. It is a charge of usurpation with a body count attached. You are a Zimri, and you have a week. She was right about what he was. She was wrong about the week. Jehu reigned 28 years. He looked up and said, "Who is on my side?" 2 or 3 eunuchs looked out, "Throw her down," and they threw her down. Then he went in and did eat and drink. And afterward he said, "Go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter." They found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. Elijah's word stood by the wall of Jezreel. Now that word, whoredoms. In the prophets, it is the standard idiom for idolatry. Exodus says the nations go a-whoring after their gods. Hosea and Ezekiel build whole chapters on it, the covenant as a marriage, unfaithfulness to it as adultery. Jehu is not accusing Jezebel of lovers. He is accusing her of Baal. Here is where it changed, and the change can be dated. The word Jezebel, used in English for a shameless woman, is first recorded in the 1550s, some 24 centuries after she died. The Oxford English Dictionary gives the older sense first, a woman who leads others into idolatry, and the sexual meaning as the later arrival. It also notes the adjective the insult usually travels with, painted. The paint was never the charge. It became the charge in another language thousands of years on. And the letters, the seal, the fast, and the 2 witnesses quietly left the story. There is one more Jezebel in Scripture. Revelation gives her name to a woman at Thyatira, centuries later, as a type. And whether the fornication there is meant literally or in the prophet's old idiom is disputed. Even there it arrives paired with food offered to idols. As for the phrase most people are searching for, a Jezebel spirit, it is not in the Bible. Not in either testament, not once. And there is a line almost nobody reads. A daughter of the house of Ahab married into the house of David. When her son died, Athaliah destroyed all the seed royal of Judah and reigned 6 years. One infant was hidden by his aunt and survived. The text calls Athaliah the daughter of Ahab. It never names her mother. That she was Jezebel's daughter is inference, widely held and not stated. But this the text does say. Jehu's purge was total in the north and never crossed into the south. 1 generation on, out of that same house, the line of David came within a single hidden child of ending. The Bible's Jezebel is not a seductress. She is a foreign queen who cut off the prophets of the Lord, kept 850 at her own table, and had a landowner and his sons executed on forged letters under the king's seal. Tradition took all of that and traded it for a painted face. The trade did not make her worse. It made her smaller. If you want to see the same addition made to another woman at another window, watch Bathsheba next. She is written. So is what was added to her.